Welcome back. Today, do me a favor. Put your wallet away because we are crossing into a twilight zone where the US dollar, gold bars, or even your precious Bitcoin are about as useful as a lead life jacket. This is the domain of Alvin, Roth, and Lloyd Shapley, two absolute units who snagged the 2012 Nobel Prize for solving a puzzle that sounds like a cosmic prank. How do you trade things that the law, ethics, and God himself forbid you from putting a price tag on?
Let's kick this off with a horror story. Not a bank run, but a literal life or death situation. Picture yourself on a kidney transplant waiting list. You're not in some boutique Swiss clinic. You're stuck in the gridlock of a public health system anywhere on Earth. You need a type O kidney. Your wife is ready to put some skin in the game, literally, but she's type A. In medical speak, that's a biological incompatibility. In our street language, that's a bad beat. You have the demand, she has the supply, but the trade won't clear. In a normal market, you just flash some cash and buy what you need. But here, organ trading is illegal almost everywhere except Iran, but that's a whole different level of crazy, we'll save for later. So you're stuck. You have an asset, her kidney, but zero liquidity to swap it for what you need. You're dying on the vine while thousands of other couples are in the exact same deadlock. Husband type A needs B, wife type B has a spare.
This is where Adam Smith's invisible hand gets handcuffed and tossed in the dumpster. Money can't fix this because society deems pricing body parts repugnant. When the price mechanism is nuked, the market crashes. Chaos reigns, and in that chaos, people act like idiots. Before Roth and Shapley showed up, the only way to match these people was pure dumb luck, or massive waiting lists based on first come, first served, a bureaucratic standard of fairness that is economically brain dead. It's like trying to shove a square peg into a round hole just because the square peg camped out overnight.
Lloyd Shapley, a mathematician with a mind like a steel trap, saw this glitch back in the 60s. He didn't care about kidneys or doctors then, he cared about stability. He and his partner David Gale posed a question that sounds romantic but is actually pure tactical warfare. How do you pair off 100 men and 100 women at a dance so that nobody wants to cheat on their partner? This is the stable allocation problem. It sounds like he's running a mass wedding service, but he was actually laying the foundation for a cashless economic revolution. Shapley built an algorithm, a cold logic engine to ensure that after the matching, no pair looks at each other and says, "Hey, I should be with that other guy." But math is just ink on paper. The real world is messy. It took decades for Alvin Roth, a more pragmatic guy, a true economic engineer, to drag that dusty algorithm out of the library and throw it into the mud of the healthcare and education systems. Roth realized the world is full of broken matching markets. He saw medical residents getting strong-armed into accepting jobs 2 years before graduation because hospitals were scared of losing talent, a race to the bottom. He saw NYC kids getting dumped into trash high schools despite having the grades for better ones, just because the application system was moronic. And most critically, he saw kidney patients dying because there was no exchange mechanism.
Roth didn't just analyze, he fixed the plumbing. He turned Shapley's abstract theory into real-world exchanges where no coin changes hands, but infinite value was unlocked. He created global kidney exchange chains. Picture this. Your wife, type A, gives a kidney to a stranger who needs A. That stranger's relative, type B, gives to another patient needing B. And the chain loops until a type O kidney comes back to you. A closed loop. A perfect trade with zero cash involved. That isn't charity, that's arbitrage at a masterclass level. That is how you hack the system when capitalism's most powerful tool, money, is stripped of its power.
But hold up, don't deify this yet. You think just running an algo fixes human nature? That people will follow mathematical logic like sheep? Please, when you remove money from the equation, you don't remove greed or strategy, you just force it to mutate into something more subtle, more dangerous. And that is where we need to pop the hood and look at the engine to see how these gears grind and why even the perfect algo can get gamed if you're not careful. Let's rip off the academic veneer and stare directly at the V8 engine roaring under the hood of this Nobel Prize. The heart of this beast is the Gale-Shapley Algorithm, also known by a name that sounds like a toxic dating tactic, deferred acceptance. If you think Tinder is brutal, let me introduce you to the great-grandfather of matching apps. Imagine a dance floor where a group of men approach a group of women. In a normal, chaotic world, the fastest, loudest, or richest guy snatches the best girl immediately, and the slow guys get wrecked. But Gale and Shapley said, nah, kill that noise, no immediate closing.
The rules of this game are cold as ice. In round 1, every guy proposes to his top choice. The woman looks at the list of Sims kneeling before her, holds onto the best one, and kicks the rest to the curb. But here's the kicker. She doesn't say "I do" yet. She just says, "Stand there and wait, let me see if anything better walks in." This is the deferral. The rejected guys from round 1 wipe their tears and go for their second choice in round 2. If, in this round, a reject from before turns out to be a better option than the guy currently on hold, the woman ruthlessly dumps the old guy to upgrade. This cycle repeats until nobody wants to switch anymore. The result? Absolute stability. No one can claim they got screwed because everyone matched with the best possible option available to them in the reality of the market. It eliminates strategic regret. You don't need to lie about your preferences or play games. The algo forces you to be honest because lying only hurts your own odds.
Now toss that ballroom theory in the trash and look at how Alvin Roth used it to salvage a real-world system that was rotting from the inside out. Forget Google or Apple. Let's talk about Feeding America, the quiet giant coordinating food for millions of poor Americans. Before 2005, their distribution system ran like a Soviet-style central planning disaster. The HQ in Chicago would get donations, say a truckload of pasta or a container of near-expired yogurt, and unilaterally decide where to send it. They'd sit in an office and declare, "Send this truck of potatoes to Idaho." The problem? Idaho is the potato capital. They're swimming in spuds. They need chicken. Meanwhile, a food bank in Alaska is starving for carbs but gets hit with tons of tomato sauce and no pasta. The result was massive dead weight loss, food rotting in dumpsters while people went hungry, all because Central Command thought they knew best.
Roth stepped in and said, "You guys are running charity with big hearts but empty heads." He built an internal market, but instead of real dollars, which would let rich food banks in places like NY hoard all the good stuff, he created a fiat currency called shares. Each local food bank was issued this funny money based on the poverty levels in their area. Every day, a list of donated truckloads goes up in an online auction block. You want that frozen chicken? Bid your shares. If you desperately need it, you go all in. If you're just meh about it, you save your capital for a better deal tomorrow.
This fake money system revealed something no survey ever could: the brutal truth of demand. Turns out stuff the HQ thought was garbage, like ugly produce, was being bid up like crazy by places with soup kitchens, while premium stuff like energy drinks got zero love. The auction mechanism combined with matching algorithms turned a dictatorship into a ruthlessly efficient free market. Remote food banks with high poverty rates, and thus lots of shares, suddenly had purchasing power equal to or even greater than the city slickers. They could buy high-quality protein they previously only dreamed of. This isn't math on a whiteboard anymore. This is millions of meals saved from the landfill and put into stomachs. Roth proving can manufacture an artificial invisible hand even where traditional capitalism refuses to tread.
But the story doesn't stop at US borders. If you think this model only applies to kidneys and charity chow, you are underestimating the ambition of these economic engineers. The glitch isn't just in potato distribution, it's global, very deep in the institutions you trust the most. And when we zoom out, from Chicago streets to Asian lecture halls or European public hospitals, we see a picture that's even more chaotic. There, the absence of a true market mechanism has spawned massive corruption and waste. If you think these theories are just looping inside American food warehouses or sterile operating rooms, widen your aperture. Look at places where the lack of market design is causing humanitarian disasters and a terrifying waste of human capital. Look at Japan, the land of order and discipline, which used to hide a medical recruitment system so feudal it would make a samurai blush. Before 2004, the Japanese medical system ran on the Ikkyuku system, a deeply entrenched power network within universities. The old professors held the keys to life and death, deploying young graduates wherever they pleased, usually to affiliate hospitals in the middle of nowhere to pay off debts or solidify political clout. Young doctors had zero agency. They were pawns on a chessboard. They were victims of aotagari, harvesting the rice while it's green, a term for hospitals bullying students into signing contracts before they even graduated or knew what specialty they wanted. The consequence? A miserable allocation of resources. The best talent got stuck in places they hated, doing work they didn't care about, leading to burnout and attrition. The medical labor market wasn't a market, it was a boot camp. It wasn't until the Japanese government, seeing the US model's success, decided to implement a centralized matching algorithm similar to the Gale-Shapley one Roth perfected that the game changed. For the first time, young docs submitted wish lists, hospitals submitted rankings, the algo ran, and boom! Allocation based on actual preference, not the coercion of some medical godfather. Satisfaction rates spiked, and rural distribution became transparent even if it wasn't perfect. At least it wasn't a black box of power anymore.
But let's leave clean Japan for a grittier, bloodier problem: the refugee crisis in Europe. This is the ultimate market failure on a macro scale. We have millions of refugees, demand side, seeking safety, and European nations, supply side, limited capacity. How does it run now? Total anarchy. Refugees flood toward Germany or Sweden because they think it's paradise, while Eastern Europe slams the gates shut.
The result is overcrowded camps in Greece, boats sinking in the Mediterranean, and the rise of human trafficking cartels.
Smugglers are just the market makers of the underworld. When governments refuse to design a legal, efficient market, the black market rises to fill the void. Smugglers charge exorbitant fees to move people, a bloody matching service. Roth and his crew proposed applying matching theory here. Why not let refugees list their preferences based on language, family, skills, and nations list their needs? A matching system could distribute refugees to places where they actually fit, reducing the load on hotspots and killing the smugglers' business model. But of course, politicians prefer moral grandstanding over optimization problems. They fear that matching refugees sounds too cold, too calculated. But the brutal truth? Their fake warmth is drowning people at sea, while a cold algorithm could have saved thousands.
This system error even exists in luxury markets like concert tickets or sports. Ever wonder why Taylor Swift or World Cup tickets vanish in seconds and reappear on resale sites for 50x the price? It's because organizers artificially underprice tickets to maintain a fan-friendly image. They refuse to use the price mechanism to filter buyers, fearing backlash, but they lack a non-monetary mechanism to stop scalpers. Scalpers are the most ruthless arbitrageurs. They use bots to sweep the inventory, hacking a loose distribution algorithm. Roth points out that when you try to be the good guy by keeping prices artificially low without a strict market design to verify users, you are effectively transferring all the profit from the artist to the scalper. You created a race that humans can't win against machines.
From telecom spectrum allocation in India to primary school registration in Singapore, the same script plays out. When the price mechanism is disabled for legal or ethical reasons and no smart matching algorithm replaces it, chaos takes the wheel. Power falls to those with connections, tricks, or the willingness to break the rules. The street-smart economist sees this not as a tragedy, but as a consequence of lazy management. We are running 21st century systems with 18th century bizarre thinking. And the cost isn't just cash, it's social justice, opportunity, and sometimes human life.
All right, we've toured the landscape from bloody kidneys to leftover food bins and chaotic refugee camps. But now it's time to bring it back to your wallet and your actual life. You might not need a kidney swap right now, but you are living in a world full of matching markets without even realizing it. And trust me, if you walk into these zones with a cash is king mindset, you're gonna get cooked. The blood-written lesson here is, not everything has a price tag.
In the world of commodities, like buying stocks or veggies, you just need liquidity. You pick the item, you pay, it's yours. The seller doesn't care who you are as long as your money isn't counterfeit. But in a matching market, like job hunting, dating, or college admissions, you can't just pick them, they have to pick you back. Money here is useless, sometimes even toxic. Try bribing a recruiter or a date, see how fast the cops show up. So how do you survive and win in this cashless game?
Don't be a signal spammer, the curse of over-signaling. Remember the Gale-Shapley algo? The winning guys weren't the ones hitting on every girl in the room. Same goes for LinkedIn or Tinder. The mob's biggest mistake is the pray and spray strategy, sending generic CVs to 50 companies, swiping right on everyone. Congratulations, you just commoditized yourself. In matching markets, scarcity of signal is the only thing with value. If you apply everywhere, nobody actually wants you. Learn to signal specific interest. Roth proved that a costly, sincere signal, like writing a hyper-personalized email instead of copy-pasting, is worth 1,000 empty words. Make the other side feel like you are their genuine choice number one, not a backup plan.
2. Arbitrage the inefficiency. Find the back door. Any system that doesn't use price to allocate will inevitably use time or connections instead. That's the conservation of misery law. If concert tickets are cheap but gone in 3 seconds, the currency isn't dollars, it's network speed and patience. Don't try to punch the system with money unless you buy scalp tickets at a markup. Instead, find niche markets where competition is lower but value is comparable. Just like Roth found a way to swap kidneys, find the circuitous route. Can't get into the front door of big tech? Find a satellite vendor that services them. Work there and let them acquire you later. That's how you hack the HR supply chain.
3. Don't try to game an optimized system. If you're facing a system that has actually implemented a proper matching algo, like modern medical residencies or school choices in smart cities, here is the best advice. Be honest. Don't try to 4D chess the system by ranking a safety school first just to guarantee a spot. The Gale-Shapley algo is designed to be strategy-proof. If you lie about your true preferences, you are mathematically shooting yourself in the foot. True street smarts is knowing when to hustle and when to submit to the math. Going head-to-head with a Nobel-winning algorithm using petty tricks?
you lose every time.
The world doesn't just run on the invisible hand of prices. It's also ruled by the visible hands of market designers, silent algorithms, and hidden rules of compatibility. Alvin, Roth, and Lloyd Shapley taught us this. When money is banned from the room, logic and smart arrangement take the throne. Don't just be a rich idiot waving cash around. Be a strategist who understands the rules of the board you're playing on. It's also ruled by the visible hands of market designers, silent algorithms, and hidden rules of compatibility.